Hey friends, this is Reverend Jerry, the People's Priest, aka Father Jerry, and I'm coming to you today after being away for a little while to give you a word. Well, actually, it's technically um, two words that hopefully will be a healing medicine for those of us who may have or may be currently in a state of neutral. In our life, we oftentimes have rituals of transition that move us from beginning to ending and from ending to beginning. But we don't have a lot of rituals and habits and spiritualities or even theologies of that neutral place, that place of in between where you've already left, but you haven't yet arrived. And maybe you arrived, but you're being called to begin again, to leave again, to maybe return back or to go a different direction. We don't have something to work with that helps us in that neutral zone. And I have been reflecting upon that recently and what that means for me and my life. What does that mean for the people that I serve? What does that mean with all of the stuff that is happening in our, not just our personal lives and not even just our collective lives of the lives of the circles that we have connections to? But what does that mean for us as a species, that's the human species, and as a global human family? And I really think we need to recognize that there is sacredness, there is holiness in being almost there. We are almost there. We are almost there to liberation. We are almost there to finishing our degrees. We are almost there to be 100% debt free. We are almost there to being where we are being called to go, where we are being called to be, or who we are being called to be. We are almost there. And those two words, almost there, are what I want to leave with you. It's okay to be almost there. There is nothing that I want you to know more deeply today during this season than that it is okay to be almost there. And I want to give you 5 steps, 5 practices that you can lean on whenever almost being there becomes unbearable, becomes problematic, becomes anxiety inducing. For those moments when dread falls upon you at night and you can feel your chest and the rest of your body tensing up and you don't know what to do, you don't know where to go, you don't know who to talk to, you don't know why that one particular person who you were close to for a long time just started just stopped talking to you or has begun distancing themselves from you. You don't know why. You know that you want to belong, but you're not ready. You know you want to be attached, but you're not ready to attach yet, but to detach so that you can attach. These are 5 practices that you can utilize for that time in the morning when the darkness just washes over you. When you wake up in a cold sweat, when you wake up in the midst of an anxiety attack. These 5 practices, I hope and I pray, will be a tool for you. I know I have been practicing myself, and that's why I know they've helped me so far, and they're going to continue to help me, I'm sure, going forward, especially as we're entering into a season in the year when things are starting to fall, are starting to die away, relationships are dying out, they're falling apart, leaves are falling off the trees, animals are starting to say, oh, it's getting colder, I need to get to warmer places. Oh, we're getting darker, that might mean that we need to start hibernating, we need to start sleeping a little bit more, we need to start getting that fuzziness that helps us feel more comfortable. This is a time of a lot of stuff is going to begin to happen. So these 5 practices are going to be, I believe, great tools for you to live well during this time, a time where a lot of people grieve and a time where a lot of people struggle for a lot of different reasons. And those 5 practices are: pause, remember, be amazed, rejoice, and repeat. Pause, remember, be amazed, rejoice. I need to remember. Rejoice and repeat. Pause. Make a habit to tell your mind and vocalize with your mouth. Pause the anxiety. Pause the dread when it shows up in the morning or in the evening. Pause that fear and darkness that shows up in the weirdest times. Say pause to it, like almost as if it's a person. And if you want to put your hand down and say pause, that'd be great. And then say, I choose to remember that I am the beloved child of God. That is my identity. And therefore, I am worthy of peace in my body and in my soul. I am worthy of all that is good, holy, and beautiful. Then move into the next step of when you have reclaimed who you really are by pausing all of that stuff that distracts you, that keeps you from hearing the voice of the living God, of the sacred mystery that says, you are my beloved child. When you have paused all that, move into the remembering, which means to bring back to mind. That's what the word remember literally means. Remember those joyful moments. Remember all the wonderful things that you have done this past year, the year before that, the year before that, the 5 years before that, all the beautiful people that you know, all the places that you have been, all the relationships that have transitioned and have turned into something more better or that have fallen away. And remember who you were then, but also don't fall into reminiscing. Remember who you were then, and then also state vocally with your mouth what is different about then and now. I remember 5 years ago, I was at full level of debt. This is just an example. Full level of debt. And I remember how I felt living that time. But now, where I am today, I have cut my debt in half, and I'm living more optimistically, more holistically, and with more courage each day. I remember that time when I lived in this place and how I was happy, but I was also in the midst of finishing my PhD, and how doing that hard work, and while I was grateful to be able to do it and was be able to be in that program, it took away my ability to really enjoy the people who were around me. And now I have my degree and I have a job where I use my degree, and I have plenty of time to foster healthy, loving, meaningful relationships. Do that as you remember, because then you'll be naturally moved into being amazed. You'll become amazed at what Spirit has done in your life and what you have done in your life and who you have become and how all the journeys that you have traveled to get to where you are today. And then from the amazement, you'll develop gratitude, and that gratitude will make you want to rejoice. You'll want to celebrate. You'll want to write about your accomplishments. You'll want to begin to write success stories about all the different ways that you have grown. You'll want to start telling people about it. Maybe you might start a blog. Maybe you might do a video series, not to brag, but to share the joy, because joy is contagious. Thomas Aquinas says that joy is the human's most noblest act, because joy grounds us in gratitude, which helps us to remember who we are as human beings, the beloved children of God. And once you have rejoiced, then you repeat. You do the cycle again. Because this moment, those moments of dread, those moments of doubt, those moments of fear, those moments of feeling lost, of feeling like you don't belong, will come around. But just every time they come around, so too, you have the power and the authority to pause, to remember, to be amazed, to rejoice, and to repeat it again. And I guarantee that if you continue to do this during this almost there time in your life, you will start to notice you have more energy, you have more enthusiasm. Enthusiasm means to be in God. You'll be more consciously in the presence of the living sacred being that we call God, who will then thrust you into your next stage of consciousness, your next journey in your spiritual life, in your human life. So, dear friends, I leave this word with you. It is sacred to almost be there, to be almost there. It is sacred to be almost there. So don't shy away from it. Don't be embarrassed by it. Don't be ashamed that you're not there yet. Almost there is beautiful, it's sacred. And remember, dear friends, that life is short and we do not have much time to gladden the hearts of those who journey with us. So be swift to love, make haste to be kind, and don't be ashamed to be almost there. Being almost there is sacred. Amen. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. There's a all the info is in the description below. And I also have a link in the description to a video, music video from The Princess and the Frog, which is a song that inspired this message called Almost There. So I hope you enjoy that and listen to it over and over again as you go through your 5 practices. Many blessings and lots of love. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.